Today in this video, I'm going to give you guys 7 tips that you can do here in DC Dark Legion. My name is Shinchi42. So, first of all, if you're getting started into the game, you are going to do a lot of rebuilding here into the Bat Cave, the underground cave in here. But there are things here that you have to do in a regular basis, is your missions. So we often just forget about this and we just, do whatever task that we need to do here in the game. But do not forget to click here on the very bottom, this box here. Click here and you will see your main missions. And you'll also get this daily missions that resets every single day at 0 UTC. So as you can see here onto the missions, you are going to be getting a lot of rewards. So if I complete this decoding of mother boxes, I will get some source energy gems, get some planetary energy keys, and you can see as I upgrade my buildings as well, we get some rewards in here, do certain tasks, get more gems, get some anvil fragments so that we can summon more champions. You get a lot of rewards here into the mission. Now, on the daily missions, this is every single day. Again, this is a very helpful thing. Every day, you're going to get some nice gems in here with the rewards. You get some resources as well here in the game. And you also get this yellow piece here, which is going to be for the Legacy XP. Now, if you go here in the hamburger icon, you go into the Legacy. Your Legacy will level up as you do your daily. And if you click onto here into the buy levels, I do not recommend that you ever spend your gems here. This is a no action. All right, never do this. That's a huge mistake. Now, as you can see, I did make a purchase here for the $10 one, and I would say that is pretty worth it if you do that early into the game. You will get a lot of rewards here. As you see, there is a lot of ACDC shards and as well as intel points. Now, these intel points will be utilized in an event called Supreme Commander. There's also challenges here in the Legacy as well that you have to complete so that you get extra XP points as well. This is pretty easy. I've always completed this. There is no season yet that I have not completed all these in here up to level 50. So at least target level 50 so you get all the benefits from this Legacy. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about is events. So here in this gift icon, this is the events in the game. There is an event calendar where you can see what's going to happen, and it's really important that you understood the upcoming events. Now, in your first week, probably you're going to try to figure things out, but if you watch the videos of all the content creators who've been making for the DC Dark Legion, you'll have an idea what events are going to be. In the event page, you're going to see event calendar. This is where you're going to see the UTC time. So if you're not familiar with UTC time, this is where you're going to see it. You're also going to see here the banner champions. As you can see, we got Nightwing currently, and we also have Martian Manhunter. And then you're going to see coming up, schedules in here as we're going to have Guardian Challenge. I have videos for this as well. And currently we have League Mobilization, and then Supreme Commander event is coming up here on Tuesday. So it's very important that you understand the events, because then you can utilize your resources, your items to get more rewards with converting them into the events. Now, here in the League Mobilization, if you haven't seen this yet, this is an event where you can do your tasks and you get points and then you get some rewards. So this is a great event to kind of stack up on the Interstellar and as well as the Guardian Challenge. So in the League Mobilization, as you can see, there's sometimes a task here where you have to spend some source energy gems, to which you can piggyback this here in the Interstellar visitor event, to which I would recommend to save up every time 3,000 gems, because you want to buy this Advanced Galactic Quest collection that you get 30 of the World Anvil Fragment, and the same time you want to buy this Traveler's Adventure Bundle that will be 10 World Anvil Fragments. This is where you're going to pretty much stack up these fragments to summon champions. Now, if you have extra gems, then you can purchase other things in here as you wish. Now, another thing to note here, I'll give you guys a little tip. Here in the League Mobilization, you see, even though there is 2 same tasks in here, right? 50 world anvil fragment, 50 world anvil fragment, but their points is different, so the percentage also changes. So you have to make sure to pay attention onto that as well. I'm actually gonna refresh this till I get a good task for spending source energy gems, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take that task and then buy here in the interstellar visitor. All right, so that's going to be my goal. So you have to kind of utilize and piggyback things here in the events. There is also 3 versus 3 here. So pay attention on what's coming up in the events calendar. It is very important. Now, we currently don't have the Supreme Commander event right now, but in the Supreme Commander event, you're going to be able to get a lot of the Magic Eye, to which you can use it here in the House of Secret to buy your banner champion mythic legacy piece, to which I've already purchased here for Scarecrow. As you can see with my gear, I have a Scarecrow, and you'll have this symbol here with the weapon and then a little star. My next tip here is very important, and I wish I have done it a lot sooner when I first started into the game, but I felt like I was still weak to join the best league. So eventually I did manage to join the strongest league in the server. So I recommend, when you first get into the game, is to look into the leagues in your server and then try to join the top 5 at least in the minimum. If you can join the top 3, that will be really great, but if you join top 1, that is even better. So the reason why I recommend to join the top leagues, because the activity of the players are there. They are going to be taking over the best territories in the game, and when they obtain the territories in the game, that you are going to be able to get more of the league contribution, which is a credit to use to purchase, and you also get better intel points as well. Then if you manage to get into the guardians officers in here, to which you can get more rewards in here for the officials. As you can see, guardian, if you're assigned, and then territory officials, you get some rewards. So if you get assigned here, you will get the reward for respective stars. Very important to join a very good league, an active league, because you also get a lot of chests and better technology for your league as well. So that is very important, that I highly recommend. Don't try to stay into the lower leagues, because the benefit of growth is going to be a lot slower. Now here into the store, there is League Store, and this is where you can purchase really great items. You can purchase Quantum Component, which I recommend to buy to upgrade your Apocalypse. The Apocalypse is going to be here onto the hangar. This is your ship, so you get to do that. And then another thing is that when you join a league, there are league events that you can also participate. So for example, this Umbral Rift, this is where you can participate and get really nice rewards as well. As you can see, this is where you get quantum components as well. And then also you have the Guardian Challenge, and you also get League Mobilization. If you're not in the league, you're not going to be able to do the League Mobilization event. There is a lot of great things. There's also the Krypton Rush. There's also the Checkmate event. I think that's a Checkmate. That's what it's called. So I think in the future, there is going to be more league-based event, and I highly recommend that you join a very good league to get the very best rewards that you can get. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about here is building priority. All right, so as you're getting started into the game, you're going to be building. I want to let you know that these have a max level. As you can see, all my living quarters are now level 10, and the lounge, there's no more way to upgrade this. This is already at max level. Genesis chamber always level 1, and then medical bay as well, max in here. So what's the most important priority here for the building? Your war room is very important. The war room will dictate everything on the level of every building in your base. Now, another very important building is your training nexus, because this is where you're going to be doing your level sync. If you don't know what level sync is, this is basically going to make all your champions the same level of your top 5 champions. So these are my top 5 champions, and now everybody that I put into level sync, they will automatically be the same level as these champions that I have, with the lowest one. So if my lowest one here is 430, as you can see, everybody is going to be 430 in here in the very bottom. Now, if everybody is the same at 460, then everybody will become 460. It will base on the lowest level of your 5th lowest champion that you put into your level sync. Now, once you've reached level 300, I don't think you can reset your champions anymore, because now there is no reset function. I cannot reset my champion anymore. So keep that in mind, but it doesn't really matter. But it's kind of nice if you're a little bit OCD. Another important building priority that I always try to focus is working on the alloys in here, which is the Wayne steel. So this is something that I try to upgrade always right away. Right now you can't upgrade it right now, but you can do the pre-upgrades in here as well. So as you can see, you can always do the pre-upgrade and make sure you always do that. That's a really good tip in here, doing the pre-upgrade. But I like to upgrade my Wayne steel right away so that I can produce more of the gears here in the armory. And then also the bio lab, very important, so that you can upgrade the levels of your champions. Now, the armory is also very important because you'll need to craft your gears, and gears really makes a lot of difference here in the game. And you'll also have to deconstruct some of the gears to upgrade your armory here. Another thing that I would say is the thing you need to work on is Wayne chips as well. That will contribute toward to the research here for the laboratory. And another quite important in here that we often kind of like, look over is the power plant. The power plant is very important because this is going to dictate your efficiency of your production. So as you can see, the higher the efficiency is, the better production that you're going to be able to do here in your base. There's going to be a research like this one, energy efficient manual. So you can see power supply 10%. So that's a little bit of a help here onto your power plants. So that's another thing to definitely consider here when you're looking into the buildings of your game. Now, another thing that is also very important is appointing champions in your specific rooms. So if you click this icon, you see 20 out of 20, click that, you're going to see the room status. As I got more mythic champions, now every time you recruit champions in here, you want to make sure that you put them here to work. As you can see, everybody is now at 30%. The system is very nice. It will tell you where to put them. So as you first start into the game, you'll want to make sure that you put champions here, even if they are the legendary champions. Don't worry about it. Soon as you play in progress into the game, you will improve them, and you're going to put the mythic champions in there in the corresponding right status. All right, so as you can see, everybody at 30% here, which is very, very good. Make sure to also not forget, whenever you're doing research, to make sure you appoint a great champion here that has the highest percentage that you can put on your current situation. And at the same time, really for armory, I think this is one of the most important one, so that you can get better crafting reward. As you can see, plus 30% here, which is very good. So we talked about the ACDC earlier, and investment in ACDC is very important because once you input your ACDC here in the force, you will not be able to get it back. There's no reset on this. Once you put it, it's one and done. Now, one thing that I want to say is I call this talent tree. Some people probably call it kit, and this is also very important, just as important as you work onto the star level of your champions. So I would say first, look into the overview and look at what champions you want to build. So for me, for example, is that I've decided that I'm going to go with Arkham setup with a weapon master build. It really depends on your luck and how you recruit onto the banner champions. So if you're going to be a spender, you probably can obtain everything. But if you're going to be mid spender or low spender, you'll have to be more strategic when you're deciding on what champions you want to go for. So it is very important that you look into the champions that you get and what champions that you like. Another thing that I would say is that don't invest your ACDC on every single champion. If you're going to be working on some of the legendary, you can work on them for a little bit, but not too much. I would say you want to really invest a lot onto the mythic champions, even if they are not the banner mythic champions, because they will give you a lot more results. So as you can see here with Two-Face, I've actually invested a lot of ACDC shard here on Two-Face. Now, there are certain cases, right? If your build requires some of the legendary ones, then you might want to invest on ACDC on those legendary ones that you need to work on. So let's do some battle here in the Meta Brawl. And this is where, pretty much the investment of ACDC would come into play here. All right, so my talents on these champions, this is where it's going to be very applicable whenever you do these challenges here in the game. Let's see if we can win. We should have significant amount of power above the player, but the player has a very good Wonder Woman in here, very strong. We need our DPS to survive, our back lines. We need Joker, Two-Face to live so that we can do a lot of the damages in here. So, wow, the champion that we're going against with are very tough. We need to break onto the defense in here and get into the back line. That healing is insane. Wow, very strong. I don't know if we're going to actually kill him and beat him. Not enough firepower on my end here, it seems like. Wonder Woman is really doing a really great tank. Wow, this is a good setup for her. There we go. We got Poison Ivy eliminated. Wonder Woman soon. We got about 20 seconds left in here. We need to eliminate Poison Ivy. There we go. We won. What a good victory here. And then now let's take a look into here. See this newspaper icon? Click that. And then you can see here, click this. All right. And then you're going to see the investment that the players have done in Force. So as you can see, my Force investment here is 46 for Joker, 1 only for Poison Ivy, 3. She have invested in a lot here in Wonder Woman and as well as Mira, and then nothing else on the other ones. Wow, that was strong. Why is she so strong? But you can see the star level makes a lot of difference as well. But the Force, I've invested a lot on good forces here onto my champions. You can also see some of the stats in here as well. And if you want to go to the nitty-gritty of it, you can definitely look into all of that. But this is a great, tool to use to look into what other players are doing, how are they investing, and how they are being basically stronger than you. But I really recommend to work on these mythic champions. And like I said, there's always an exception with certain legendary champions that you want to work on as well, depending on your lineup. Now, to reiterate here, just let's go back and touch up again. The champion investment, right? You're going to be recruiting your champions here from the planetary energy keys. You're going to be getting your champions here into the recruitment onto the bleed as well. You can go into the details. You can see what you're going to be able to get. The odds are going to change. So as you can see with Martian Manhunter, the odds for the legendary are different in comparison here to Nightwing. You can see different legendary, right? Different percentage in here. So it's very important that you look into the banners and you look into what are these champions going to be and what family do they belong to? How do I build around this? And your luck, right? So it's very important that you look into that and you build your champions on that manner. So for example, like I mentioned earlier, I worked on the Arkham setup because I didn't get to go with the Justice League, although I really wanted to go Justice League. Since I didn't get Superman, I didn't get to go into that path. So that's a very important thing to kind of understand here in the game, when you're starting out. Another thing that I want to mention here in the game is that when you first start to the game, that you really want to get stronger and get ahead of everybody, you have to do these few things. The last things that I'm going to mention here: join the Brave line, get into the carriages in here, and then go here into S.O.N, do your combat cycle every reset. We do this, very important. And then also Meta Brawl, do them 5 times. And then you also want to make sure that you do your training simulators in here and do some of your tasks here on the Realm of Fate. You need to do this because you get a lot of rewards. And of course, join Umbro Rift. And then I've made videos about the Darkest Timeline. Do the Darkest Timeline early as you can. You get a lot of gems in here. And then also you get a lot of rewards in here as well. You get a lot of ACDC shards, and you get these nice custom mythic champion shard, which you can get specific mythic champions in here depending again on your setup. Do the missions. There's pretty easy missions in here, but it gets a little bit challenging, but I have videos for them as well. So make sure to do this because it's very important. You get a lot of rewards. And the last thing here that everybody should pretty much have an idea that you always want to make sure that you do your task here in the crisis response. As you can see, I'm doing my crisis response. Make sure to do them every day. You get daily rewards, or basically permission rewards in here. Just do your patrols, do the challenge, do the raids in here. Very easy, so very simple. This is just pretty relaxing, honestly, when I'm doing this. So this is something that is, I would say, your day-to-day tasks that you have to do. You can also raid these ships as well. I've already infiltrated them, so make sure to do them as well. So you get 3 every single day. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope this is actually very helpful and allows you to become a bot in the beginning and be a legend as you get stronger in the game.